Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of season 2 of Art with Mr. Borja. I'm Mr. Borja. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you artists who have sent in your artwork from previous episodes. Like I say, it is really cool to see all the creative ideas that you all come up with in your artwork. And I think it's really cool to share all of your creative ideas. So please keep on sending them my way. Here's a look at some of the artists' artwork that they've sent in from previous episodes. Let's check it out. Alrighty friends, if you would like your artwork showcased on next week's episode of Art with Mr. Borja, send it on over to happydrawing123@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Art with Mr. Borja and tag your artwork with the hashtag Art with Mr. Borja. So for today, we are going to be wrapping up our 3-episode long ARToberfest art series with the celebration of Dia de los Muertos. I will be teaching you how to draw a sugar skull. At the end of the video, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to have you write anything about it. However, I'm going to give you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Dia de los Muertos with a grown-up at home. Let's get started. Alrighty, artists, we're going to go ahead and go over our art rules before we get started. So, rule number 1, respect each other's materials. Art is for everybody. If anybody in your house or wherever you are would like to join you and do art together, please invite them over. Also, all the materials that you use in this art lesson, you are in charge of cleaning up after yourself. Rule number 2 is come prepared to work. I will challenge you to do the art lesson for the whole time, but if you need a little wiggle break, that is fine. You can always pause the video at any time, go take a break, and then return whenever you feel ready. Rule number 3 is be creative and use your imagination. In art, there is no right or wrong answer. Anything you do, I am sure I will love and I would really like to see. And rule number 4 is clean up all materials. Once again, you are in charge of everything you use for art. If you use colored pencils, markers, crayons, anything that you take out, it is your responsibility to put away. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna use this permanent marker because it's a lot easier to see on the paper. If you are using a pencil, that is the best way to go because it's easier to erase pencil marks than it is to erase the marker marks. So for the sugar skull that I want to help you draw, that I want to teach you to draw, it's going to use some pretty easy shapes. Now, I want to draw one skull right here in the center of the page. And I want to draw it large because I want you to add as much detail as possible. So the first line I'm going to draw is kind of like a C-shaped line, except it's going to go from this side. It's going to go up a little bit, across, and down like that. All right, I'll show you what that means right here. So draw a C-shaped line going up, across, and down like that. So I'll wait for you to do that. Remember, I'm drawing it very large because I want to add as much detail to the sugar skull as I can. Then you're gonna add two C-shaped lines, kind of right here. They're gonna be a little bit smaller though. They're gonna go like this, and like that. And whatever you do on one side, you do to the other, like that. So now you're going to draw two curved lines. I'm sorry, two straight lines, one on each side, going down a little bit. So start on this side, go down like that. Start over here, and go down like that. Now you're going to connect these two lines together with a curved line that goes down and up like that. And that is the outline of our sugar skull. You can draw a straight line going across like this. A straight horizontal line. That means it goes across the paper like that. Then I'm gonna draw some straight lines going down like this. One over here, and one over here, one over here, and one over here. Like that. So they kind of look like H's. I'll let you do that part. Then you're gonna draw some curved lines like that, connecting all the H's. Like that. Then if you did the same up here, you're just going to do the same for the bottom ones, except they're going to go down and up, like this. Down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up, and keep doing that line like that. Alrighty. Now I'm going to draw the nose of the skull. It's going to be the shape of a heart, an upside down heart, like this. So I'll wait for you to do that part. Now we're going to draw the eyes of our sugar skull. You're going to draw two eyes, one on each side right here. I want them pretty large because I want to draw on the inside of them as well. So go ahead and take your time with it. Draw one circle over here like this. And then draw another on the other side as well. Like that. So that's pretty much all the lines that you will need in order to draw a skull. Now, in order to turn this skull into a sugar skull, you're going to need to add all kinds of decorations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some decorations around the eyes like this. I'm going to draw triangle shapes around the eyes on each side. And again, take your time, folks. I want you to get real creative with all of the decorations that you put on your sugar skulls. Take your time. All right, do the same over here. If you want to use some other lines for decorating around the eyes, you can. I just chose to use these straight lines to create triangles because I thought they looked cool. Like that. And you don't have to do this part if you don't have to. Alright. Now, the inside of the eyes, I said I wanted to draw them large because I want to draw something in the center. So, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to draw a flower on the inside of each eye. And I just used a circle and like a U shape, except it was pretty long, and then I just continue the U shapes all the way around until I finish my flower. And if some of them are larger than the others, that's fine. I will do the same over here. If you want to draw something else on the inside of your eyes of the skull, you can. Like that. See how that one's a little bit too dark? That's okay. It's no big deal. The inside of the heart, or the nose, I want to draw another upside down heart, like this. You don't have to do that. If you want to just leave it black, you can. Now let's see. For the cheekbones here, I want to draw another flower. Yeah. Like this. I'm going to draw the same looking flower that I drew on the inside of the eyes for the cheekbones. And since I don't have enough skull over here, I'm just going to leave it like that so that it looks like it's on the other side of that cheekbone. So I could do the same on this side. And again, take your time, folks. Get as much detail on these sugar skulls as you can. I think I want to add some little tiny dots right here. You don't have to add these if you don't want to. I just like the way they look. I want to draw some circles here. You don't have to draw these if you don't want to. I am just going to pretend that if I cut this sugar skull in half, the same that's on this side is the same thing that's on this other side. That's called symmetry. Or as I like to say, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Okay, I'm gonna add a little sun shape right here like that. And continue to add onto that. Again, if you want to add something else, like if you want to put a flower up here on top of the head, you can. I'll draw more circles here. Now I'm drawing them pretty big because I want to add color to the inside of those circles. To draw some other lines on your sugar skull, I'm going to draw one in the middle right here, or one dot right there. Then I'm gonna draw like a S shape, a sideways S shape like this. And you don't have to do this one if you don't want to. I could draw another heart right here. I think I might be done with my sugar skull. If you want to add any other details to yours, you can. I think I am going to end up coloring the inside of the eyes here with this black marker. If you want to color it in with a black crayon color pencil, you can, but just take your time. I'm going to color in the rest of the eyes and part of the nose. I will see you in a second. Alrighty friends, as you can see, I have colored in the inside of the eyes. I did not color over the flowers though, or the heart. I will color that a different color, but I want to use my color pencils. Once again, thank you very much, Carlota, and your wonderful family for this awesome gift. I want to use my color pencils. I drew the lines with a black marker, but I want to add more detail using color pencils. So let's see. The inside of the flowers and the eyes, I want to color brown. So the reason I wanted to use color pencils is because I wanted to use lots of colors for this art piece. Now, when I was doing research for this episode on the significance of sugar skulls and Dia de los Muertos, I learned that there are colors that represent different things when you are decorating the sugar skull. The red, it represents our blood. Orange, here, let's see. Orange represents the sun. Yellow represents the marigolds, which are a flower. I'm sure you've seen those in the movie Coco. It's the thing that's on the bridge. Let's see. We have purple that represents death. Pink and white. I don't have pink. Oh, I do. Yeah, I have pink. I don't have white, so that's okay. So pink and white, it represents hope, purity, and celebration. And black, which represents the land of the dead. So I'm going to use these colors. If you want to use other colors, that's fine. I just wanted to teach you the significance of each color that I will be using. Let's see. I know I want to color the hearts red, so I will do that. And again, if you want to use a different color, you can. I just wanted to teach you a little something new that I learned while I was doing research for this episode. Hope you are having a wonderful day. Hope you've had a chance to do some chores around the house. Hope you've been helping out your grown-ups. And I also hope you've gotten your work done for school. I know some of you all are in school. Alright. For the inside of the flower, I can still color it brown. Let's see. So, I wanted to share with you why the sugar skulls are so colorful. Now, they're colorful because they are meant to celebrate the loved ones who are no longer here on earth with us. To celebrate their life. I'm going to use yellow for the flower here. It looks like a sunflower here on the sides, or on the cheekbone. And I don't think this sugar skull is going to take too long to color, but that's okay. I still want you to take your time. I want to see all the beautiful, colorful sugar skulls from everyone. So, Dia de los Muertos is normally celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, which is coming up. And it's a very super awesome holiday, celebrated in Mexico and other places as well, in honor of, like I said, the loved ones who are no longer here with us on earth. Around the eyes here, wanted to also share something else that I learned while I was doing research for this episode. Another thing I learned was that the act of honoring the loved ones who have passed on or who are no longer here on this earth is widely celebrated around the world. However, the Day of the Dead is unique in its traditions. So the use of like sugar skulls, or also known as the calaveras, the ofrendas, the offerings, and all the festivals celebrated on the streets are all unique to Dia de los Muertos. I like the way it's coming out. And again, folks, just take your time. I'm curious to see how all of your sugar skulls come out. If you would like to share your artwork with me and the rest of the world, you can send it on over to happydrawing123@gmail.com. I'd be happy to showcase it on next week's episode. I'm a little bit sad because this episode wraps up our ARTober, but that's okay. I know that the winter is coming up, so I might do something to celebrate the winter. I want you to be certain that just because ARToberfest is over, it does not mean I'm gonna stop drawing. I will have a new episode out next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. If you want to color them a different color, you can. If you drew stars on the eyes, that's fine. If you want to color these flowers rainbow colors, go for it. The more colorful your sugar score, the better. I'd love to see super colorful sugar skulls. And again, this won't take too long, but that's okay. After this, I'm going to actually encourage you with a grown-up to do research on Dia de los Muertos, because I am not an expert on the holiday. However, I would like to continue to do research on it, and you can as well. So on today's episode, instead of writing about it, you're going to learn about the sugar skulls. Or you can. You don't have to if you don't want to. Let's see. I want to use green now. Color in all of these little dots. Again, if you drew a lot of dots, that's fine. I want my sugar skull to have one gold tooth. So I'm gonna color this one like this, gold. This looks a lot yellow. A lot more yellow than it does gold, but that's all right. No big deal. Now, I wanted to share another fun fact that I learned about Dia de los Muertos, or the sugar skull and its significance, or its history. So, the symbol of a skull had a lot to do with the Aztec culture. Then, when the Spaniards came and conquered the Aztecs, they taught them some of their things that they wanted to teach them. However, the skulls were something that the Aztec folks kept. Now, I think I am almost done coloring. However, I wanted to add other details to it. So the reason I didn't want to use a marker for that was because if I continue to draw extra lines, it's gonna look kind of wonky, and I want to take my time with it. So I'm gonna add these details using color pencils. If you're using color pencils, great. If you're using markers, you can. Just be careful and take your time. Alrighty, friends, as you can see, I have added some extra detail to my sugar skull here. I added some more little lines and dots using the color pencil. You could do the same if you'd like. I actually encourage you to try to add as much detail as you can. And again, take your time with it. It took me a while to add all the little details, all the little dots, so you could do the same. Now, the reason I'm doing that, and I wanted to add a lot of color, was because while I was doing this, I started to remember some of the loved ones that are no longer here on this earth. Now, I want to share one thing about why I chose to do the Sugar Skull for our last day of ARToberfest. I did it because it honors our loved ones, like I said, who are no longer on this earth. However, I want you to know that just because they are no longer with us, it doesn't mean that they are gone entirely. We keep them alive in our hearts, in our memories, in our dreams, in our art, in our music, in our poetry, in our writing, and in the way that we treat each other, folks. Alrighty, artists, that about wraps up our time together for today. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, this one is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to have you write anything about your artwork today. Instead, I want to give you the rest of this time that you have for art to do some research with a grown-up at home about the wonderful tradition and holiday of Dia de los Muertos. I am not an expert on the holiday. I was able to do some research on it, and I want to continue to do the research on it. So I hope you feel the same way about it. If you would like to learn a little bit more about the holiday of Dia de los Muertos, you can go to the website I linked in the description below and learn all about it. As always, if you would like your artwork showcased on next week's episode, send it on over to happydrawing123@gmail.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram at ArtWithMrBorja. Tag your artwork with the hashtag ArtWithMrBorja. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And you can share it with anybody else that you think would like to do art together. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so that you know when the next episode of Art with Mr. Borja comes on. Hint, hint, it's next Wednesday. Alrighty. If you are an HTE student, you can go ahead and look at the description below to know what you need to do in order to submit all your artwork from the past 3 episodes so that we can post them up here at school. Once again, all the information is in the description below. I want to say thank you to the wonderful Parent Association here at HTE. I think it was really cool that you had reached out to me to do this wonderful art series with the students, and I hope that you can continue to do the same thing all throughout the year. That about wraps up our time together, folks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you next time. Happy drawing.